Is it recording?
I don't know.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Yes, that red dot means it's recording.
Yay!
Hello, pretty little viewer. My name is Travis Peter, and this is my roommate Erica. We have just finished watching the season 4 premiere of Pretty Little Liars, and we wanted to sit down and have a little discussion about some of our theories, about what's going to be happening this season, stuff that we're still wondering from the past seasons, and just have a general discussion about the eternal mystery that is Pretty Little Liars. Just a disclaimer, we are talking about everything that happened up to season 4, including the first episode of season 4.
We will literally ruin this entire show for you if you're not caught up.
This is 100% spoilers, so if you're not caught up, just be wary. Feel free to keep watching.
We don't care.
I don't care if we ruin this show for you.
If you're upset after you leave here, well...
that's your own fault.
Dude, that's so sad.
First topic of discussion. Is Mona actually good now, or is she still part of the A-team?
That's a really good question because Mona is batshit. She's crazy. She lived in an RV full of pictures and things of them.
The girls.
And if you watch last, she had car keys to Emily's car.
That's just a pretty hilarious line.
Yeah, it was super funny.
Oh, I have my own copy.
And then when she's nice, you're just like, your skin crawls.
It's worse than her being bad.
Yeah, it's like, huh.
Is she good now, though? Is she good
I don't know.
or is she pretending?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody's holding her fucking mom captive. I don't know. At this point, like, we don't know.
You can go an entire season thinking a character is bad, and then all of a sudden, insert name here was held captive, and I had to do all these bad things. I do personally think that Mona is still bad. At the end of season 3, when the red coat dragged them all out of the building, she was the only one still conscious. Because they found out she was she now has to convince them that she's good in order to keep doing bad things.
I agree. I think Mona's still a part of it too. Do we think Toby's bad?
I want to say that he's not. I think
Toby is fueled by the death of his mom, regardless of if that makes him good or bad. I think he loves Spencer, but I think like he would literally go fucking nuts to like figure out what happened with his mom.
Now, question number 2. Is Allison still alive?
Oh, fucking Allison. Stresses me out to talk about this because I mean, you could tell your theory.
I started developing a theory that maybe Allison had a twin sister that the girls didn't know about, that we don't know about. Right before the last section of the 3rd season, I went back and rewatched the mid-season break finale, the Halloween episode. If you remember, there's a really awkward random scene or couple of scenes with Hannah's mom and this little girl ghost.
That's right.
But I remember when I first watched it that it really struck me that that little girl looked like a little girl version of Allison. At one point she tells Hannah's mom a story about there's like these 2 little girls and one of them is good and one of them is bad, and I can't remember the exact details, but like the bad one tricks everyone into having the good one sent away. So that's when I thought that maybe the good one was sent away, got mad, Allison is the bad one, and the good sister killed the bad sister. And so this girl that they keep seeing that looks like Allison is actually just Allison's twin sister. But then in tonight's episode, there's the scene where Emily runs into Allison's mom outside Allison's old house, and she goes inside, and they're in some bedroom, or Allison's bedroom, I can't remember where they are, but at one point they show a picture, and there's like 2 half faces of 2 separate cartoon blonde girls, and they only show it for a second, but instantly I was like, twin Allison! But the fact is, okay, even with the twin theory, I don't know that I believe that Allison is dead, because at the end of season 3, they show the clip which they show before, the hand coming out of the dirt where Allison was buried, but then the second hand grabbing it and pulling it out, so maybe they're both alive. Okay, here's the next question.
Okay.
What were Melissa, Jenna, and Shauna / New Black Swimmer Girl up to the night of the season 3 finale?
I agree. You had a thought, and I agree with this, is that they were trying to get A.
Yeah, that A is stalking them, and they were trying to burn down the house where they thought A was.
Especially because at the end of this first episode, half the mask is burned, which indicate that she was in the fire. I was telling Travis this, I don't really think that Melissa is capable of killing her own sister. Granted, that would be really intense.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Who do you think will become a villain?
Do we think the new cop's gonna be a bad guy?
I think it's inevitable.
Oh,
The
he's
cop
so
is always a
cute.
bad guy.
He's putting a lot of emphasis on not being the bad guy.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah. I do have to say though, I am ready for Ezra to end up being like evilest person on the show.
He has to because he's the most boring character.
He's
on
the most
show.
boring. He's the most disconnected from everything.
Yeah, he's
going
just like,
on.
ah.
I randomly came across something online. They took like a team and they attached a name to each letter. So it was like Allison, Toby, Ezra, somebody with an A, and Mona. I can't remember who the A name was, but
Allison,
it was a really
Arya?
interesting Arya maybe? Arya and Ezra in on it together. Final question. What kind of twists and turns in the plot and story are you expecting this season?
Well, maybe Hannah's mom. She's the most involved mom.
It's true.
But now
it's
Allison's mom is back in the picture, and that bitch already sounds nuts. I'm so pissed you didn't do pageants!
true. We had a theory earlier that Allison's mom killed Allison because she was angry that Allison didn't do
Because
child pageants.
she didn't do a single fucking pageant.
She didn't.
I just want to see you dance! I just like picture being like they're spritzing her with a water bottle, like, get on stage, honey!
It's funny, I ask a question like what twists and turns do we expect, and my only real actual thoughtful response is a lot of them and no answers. What they always do, they introduce a new mystery and you think it's like, oh, we're discovering more about the A mystery, and then it turns out, no, this person just killed this person and it's a side story, and now that we figured it out, it's wrapped up, goodbye.
There are too many side stories in Pretty Little Liars. I don't even know half the characters' names. Like, they all come in and then die and get hung, and then they fall from the rafters, and then someone ended up in a barn, and then there was that police officer that died, that girl was blind, now she's not. Then there was that friend who was blonde and said she was pregnant, and then there's a cop that just died, and then there's moms. A lot of moms.
There's a lot of moms.
There's probably a mom A-team.
I mean, can you imagine it though? Like, remember that moment where you find out Toby is part of the A-team and everyone shits their pants? Like, could you imagine, like, there's another moment like that and it turns around and it's Arya's mom or something like that? Like,
I mean, wives lose their shit all the time.
that's a fact. Wives lose their shit.
All the time.
All the time. Okay, so you've heard some of our theories about what has been happening and will be happening with the show. Definitely feel free to go down in the comment section and talk about some of the things we talked about. Let us know your own theories. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Probably the entire point is to get us so fucking frustrated and confused that we keep watching, not even because we like the show anymore, but because we just have to know what's going to happen.
It's one of their highest rated TV shows. This show's gonna be going on for like 6 more seasons.
God, remember Seventh Heaven? 37 years it felt like that show was on. He was a pastor with 7 kids, and they just kept managing to get into trouble.
And then, like, they have 2 friends who want to get a divorce. So the Camdens' response to that is, let's lock them in our attic until they change their mind.
ABC Family. You got something going for you.
Okay. It's like the Greek story of Pygmalion, where, like, he carves the statue of the most beautiful woman and he makes sacrifices to whoever, Venus, I think, to make her come to life. I think the same thing happened with the actor who plays Jason De Laurentiis. I think somebody carved him out of marble.
He's hot.
And he was so beautiful that the gods
He
had to bring
is.
him to life.